You are born on the Mongol steppe, and the world has already decided you don't matter. Your father is a minor chieftain, poisoned by rivals before you turn 9. Your mother raises you and your siblings on roots and river fish, because the clan that once followed your father abandons you the moment he's in the ground. By 16, you'll have killed your own half-brother. By 44, you'll be Khan of every tribe on the steppe. By the time you die, your empire will stretch from the Pacific to the Caspian Sea, 4 times the size of Alexander's. Stay to the end, because the throne you build is soaked in the blood of everyone who ever underestimated you, including, eventually, yourself. Stage 1. The Abandoned Son, age 9 to 16. Your name is Temujin, and your childhood is a lesson in scarcity. With your father dead and your clan scattered to the wind, your family survives on marmots, wild onions, and whatever your mother can scrape from frozen ground, boiling roots twice just to make them last another meal. Status on the steppe is not given, it's taken, and you learn this early. When a half-brother starts hoarding food and mocking your family's fall, stealing fish and birds your brother's caught, you kill him yourself, with an arrow over a fish. Your mother calls you a monster. The steppe calls it Tuesday. Soon after, a rival clan captures you and locks a wooden yoke around your neck, parading you between camps as a warning to anyone who might think your family still matters. You escape at night, hiding in a river with only your nose above water, while search parties comb the banks so close you can hear them arguing. This is the last time in your life anyone will hold you and get away with it. Stage 2. The Man with Nothing, age 16 to 20. You marry Borta, a girl promised to you as a child, and for a moment it looks like your luck is turning. It isn't. Raiders from the Merkit tribe storm your camp and take her captive, a debt from your father's own past catching up to you. The Merkits never forgave the way he once stole a bride of his own from one of their men. You have no army, no wealth, no name that means anything yet. So you go to Togrul, a powerful Khan your father once called a blood brother, and you beg. Togrul lends you men. Together with your childhood friend Jamuka, you ride down the Merkits and take Borta back, though she returns to you already pregnant, a fact you choose to live with rather than question aloud for the rest of your life. You've just learned the only lesson that will matter for the next 4 decades. Alliances are currency, and you are very good at spending other people's soldiers to build your own name. Stage 3. The Rising General, age 20s to 30s. Word spreads that the abandoned boy fights like something the steppe hasn't seen. Warriors start riding to you instead of to their own blood chieftains. You promote based on loyalty and skill, not birth, which sounds fair until you realize it means any noble who crosses you can be replaced by a shepherd who doesn't. And that alone makes you more dangerous to the old order than any army could. Jamuka, your closest friend since childhood, watches you pull his own men away tribe by tribe and eventually turns against you outright, choosing the traditional aristocracy over the friend who's rewriting the rules beneath him. You beat him in the field more than once. Togrul, the man who once saved your marriage, grows to fear you as much as he needs you, and turns as well, plotting a marriage alliance meant to lure you into an ambush. You survive it only because sympathizers warn you in time, fleeing with barely a handful of loyal men and hiding in a river again, exactly like the boy with the yoke around his neck, drinking the muddy water of Lake Baljuna and swearing an oath with the followers who stayed. Every man who has ever helped you has eventually tried to end you. You are done trusting anyone who isn't already sworn to you. Stage 4. The Unifier, age 30s to 44. One by one, the tribes that spent your whole life laughing at your family fall in line or fall in battle. Jamuka is finally brought to you by his own betraying men. You execute the traitors for disloyalty to their Khan, a message about what happens to men who sell out their own leader, then honor your oldest friend's request for a bloodless death, sparing him the shame of an execution that spills blood on the ground. Togrul dies fleeing his own collapsing kingdom, killed by strangers who don't even recognize the once great Khan they're robbing. The Naimans, the last major holdouts, break before you at Mount Nakyu, their Khan dying of wounds after watching his own army scatter down a cliff face in the dark trying to escape you. There is no one left above you and no one left beside you. In 1206, the tribal chiefs of the entire steppe gather at the Onan River and raise a white banner with 9 yak tails. They give you a new name, Genghis Khan, universal ruler. The boy who once ate roots to survive the winter now owns every winter on the steppe. Stage 5, the Lawgiver, age 44 to 48. Unity is not the same as peace. You know that the moment the fighting stops, the old blood feuds will start eating your new empire from the inside, so you outlaw them by decree. You issue the yasa, a code of law that applies to nobles and shepherds alike. Steal a horse, die, regardless of whose son you are. Abandon a wounded comrade on the battlefield, die just the same. You organize the tribes into a decimal military system, units of 10 scaling up to 10,000, so loyalty runs to the unit and to you, never again to a single blood clan that could rally against you. You build the Mongol postal relay, the Yam, a chain of riders and stations so orders can cross 1,000 miles in days instead of months. You declare religious tolerance across your territory, because a steppe full of Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, and shamanists is easier to rule united than divided by faith. None of this makes you gentle, it makes you efficient. And an efficient Genghis Khan is far more dangerous than an angry one. Stage 6, the Conqueror of the East, age 48 to 54. A unified steppe still needs an enemy to stay unified against, so you turn south. The Western Shah Kingdom submits after a brutal siege that floods its own capital using the very river meant to protect it. Then you set your sights on the Jin dynasty of northern China, an empire that once played your ancestors against each other for sport and demanded tribute from tribes like yours for generations. You breach the Great Wall, a barrier built specifically to keep people like you out. Cities that resist are given one choice: surrender, or every living thing inside the walls is put to the sword as a lesson to the next city down the road. A policy so effective that entire regions start surrendering the moment your scouts are spotted on the horizon. Beijing falls and burns for a month, the smoke visible for what witnesses claim is weeks afterward. You are not fighting for land anymore. You are fighting so that no city on earth ever again believes it's safe to say no to you. Stage 7, the Scourge of the West, age 54 to 56. You send a trade caravan to the Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia, an offer of peace and commerce from one great power to another. The governor of Otrar murders every merchant, accusing them of spying, and sends the heads back to you along with your own envoys mutilated. This single decision ends an empire. You ride west with an army the likes of which the region has never conceived of, and you erase it. Otrar, Bukhara, Samarkand, Urgench, cities with libraries and irrigation systems older than your own bloodline, reduced to rubble and corpses within 2 years. Their scholars and engineers marched off as captives or slaughtered where they stood. Historians will later struggle to even count the dead, with some estimates reaching into the millions. You did not do this because you had to. You did this because someone told you no, and you needed the entire world to watch what happens next. Stage 8, the Dying Emperor, age 60 to 65. You are an old man now, and the steppe boy who once hid in a river has become the ruler of the largest contiguous land empire that will ever exist. But you cannot stop. The Western Shah, your first conquest, rebel one final time, and you ride out to crush them yourself instead of sending a general, because some enemies you still insist on ending personally, even at your age. During the campaign, you fall from your horse while hunting, or fall ill. Historians will argue about which for 800 years, the details lost somewhere between legend and deliberate secrecy. You die in your tent in 1227, reportedly with orders that the Western Shah surrender be kept secret until the kingdom falls completely, so your enemies never learn a dying man was the one who finished them. Your men bury you in an unmarked grave, killing every witness to the burial site, and even the horseman who escorted the body, so that no enemy can ever desecrate it. To this day, no one knows exactly where you rest. You started as a boy with a wooden yoke around his neck, abandoned by the only people who owed him loyalty. You ended as the man an entire continent measured its fear against. Your grandsons will finish what you started, pushing the empire's borders further than you ever rode, all the way to the gates of Vienna. But the through line of your whole life was never really conquest. It was the boy who decided, in a frozen river with his nose barely above the waterline, that he would never again be the one left to die. Everyone who broke that promise to you, you buried. The only question history still can't answer is whether the empire was worth what it cost the people who built it beside you, or the millions who never got the chance to.